This is a piece by Samuel Dixon Selvon. Samuel Dixon Selvon was born in Trinidad May the 20th, 1923. He was married in 1947 to Draupadi Prasad and had one daughter with this union. His second marriage to Althea Daru, and this union produced two sons and one daughter. He worked as a journalist for a leading newspaper in Trinidad, the Trinidad Guardian, from 1946 to 1950, a civil servant at the Trinidad and Tobago High Commission in London, England, from 1950 to 1953. He was awarded the Hummingbird Gold Medal for Literature in Trinidad 1989, Shakonia Medal Gold for Literature Trinidad 1994, an honorary doctorate from the University of Warwick, Coventry, England in 1995. He was given a Guggenheim Fellowship in 1954 and again in 1968. His books included the following: 1. The Brighter Sun, 2. The Lonely Londoners 1956, Ways of Sunlight 1957, Turn Again Tiger 1962, The Housing Lark 1965, Moses Ascending 1975, Moses Migrating 1983, Four-Day Morning Selected Prose, An Island is a World, and 8 more, also known as Sam Selvon. He was a novelist and short story writer. As he sat before his typewriter could never utter a word. His writing was done during the long hours as he worked as a wireless operator at a local branch of the Royal Navy Research and Development in 1940 to 1945. He wrote dialogues in different dialects and lexics, and a novel just poured out. It might have been a boring job that afforded him the spare time to write. Therefore, his work was done during wartime, which is unique in itself. His writing life was spent in Canada, Britain, and Trinidad and Tobago. Samuel Selvon, through his texts, is in danger of becoming a Selvonian apocrypha. Lord Kitchener, the Grand Master of Calypso in Trinidad, real name Alden Roberts, reminds us Calypso is about life, it is about sex, violence, love, social and political commentary. It is about jobs, about shelter, about world issues. This genre faced censorship which failed to silence Calypsonian. On the contrary, it made them express themselves with unheard of freedom as it made them bearers and commentators of Trinidad folklore forbidden by society and government. It was dangerous to dissent government or social views. There is an equal and exact comparison of calypso to the rhythm and blues of Memphis, Tennessee. In Memphis, there is Beale Street, and in Trinidad, there is the calypso tents that culminate in a carnival festival around February to March. Another influence was immigration, also featured extensively in his works. Trinidadians would migrate to London for a chance of a better life. A discourse community would form itself in London where immigrants from Trinidad and other notable countries would settle. The lexices would be intertwined, giving rise to additional works authored by Samuel Selvon. Though Samuel Selvon was not very well known, his awards can speak for himself. Another author, Sir Ahmad Salman Rushdie. Sir Ahmad Salman Rushdie, hereinafter referred to as Salman Rushdie, was born in June 1947 in Bombay, now called Mumbai, India. He had 4 spouses and fathered 2 children. His spouses were Clarissa Lord, married 1976, divorced 1987. Marianne Wiggins, married 1988, divorced 1993. Elizabeth West, married 1997, divorced 2004. And Padma Lakshmi, married 2004, divorced 2007. His children were Zafar Rushdie, a boy, and Milan Rushdie, a girl. He is a British American novelist and essay writer. His work consists of historical and philosophical issues using surreal characters, brooding humor, and an effusive and melodramatic prose style. He was knighted in 2007. He would sit at his desk and make himself write, treating it as a 9 to 5 job. His daily attire was a tracksuit trousers and a sweatshirt. He thought to himself that if he had taken more care of his appearance, his sentences would have been better. Salman Rushdie believed that sitting down is the best way to accomplish good writing. Standing was not his style. This is reflected in a YouTube interview. Salman Rushdie, The One Thing You Can't Teach About Writing, September 16, 2015, by Charlie Rose, interviewer. He was well known for his fifth book, The Satanic Verses, which prompted a fatwa against him in 1989. Other books include Midnight's Children, 2 years, 8 months, and 28 nights, The Enchantress of Florence, and many more. Salman Rushdie seemed to think that language, and by extension writing, has a musicality which involves a character or two or three, a plot, dialogues, and rhythm. You have to first know yourself, find yourself, or invent yourself before you can have thoughts that emanate from deep within and start to flow, gathering ideas as it continues on its way to the end. If I can make mention of the three Greek aphorisms, know thyself, nothing to excess, and certainty brings insanity. I could squeeze out deep seated ideas from my memory bank. Salman Rushdie would write a word down, and from the deep dismal abyss, sentences would flow, and as by magic his piece was born. Magical realism coupled with historical fiction is one of his genres. The stage was set in India. The Satanic Verses, a very controversial collection of ideas, attacked Muslims from various countries. In 1989, the supreme leader of Iran, Sayyid Ruhollah Musavi Khomeini, also known as Ayatollah Khomeini, issued a fatwa on Salman Rushdie's life. The British government then placed Salman Rushdie under police protection. As a result, he became boisterous in promoting free speech for all humans alike. India, a country mainly consisting of Hindus, has a long-standing feud with Pakistan, a country of predominantly Muslim followers. Might prompt someone to think that much was a stage that was set by his own long-standing thoughts that emanated from deep inside the dungeon of magical, surreal, fictitious, and controversial writings. His publication in the Times, the New Yorker, the Guardian, and the New York Times have looked into Salman Rushdie's fiction and non-fiction works, which earned him many awards for his contributions to literature. Queen Elizabeth II knighted him in June 2007. His book Midnight Children won him the prestigious Booker Prize for Fiction.